Hey, yo, what is good, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, bring you guys another market outlook video, what to expect for next week, some plays to play, and things like that. First off, I want to start off with Netflix. Honestly, look at how it reacts to that $1,000 level next week. With that being said, we can go up and maybe even get to the highs of 1,067 that we seen a few weeks ago. If it can break that 1,067 level, look at 1,080 and 1,100. Break above that, we can see it probably go all the way up to 1,200, especially since like Netflix is basically a safe stock right now, especially with the tariffs and with their news. They say they want to double the revenue, make a lot more money, and make more money with their ad revenue too. So keep Netflix on your radar. To the downside, I will look at it to the downside too, just in case if we fall down, fill some gaps down. That 970, 961, 950, and then all the way to its lows of $812. But just have your patience with this one, make a decent amount of money. But yeah, so heat map, we're looking okay for the week. You know, you still got Apple up. I'm hoping on getting some good tariff news with Apple and Nvidia and bring those both up. But I'm not saying that we will. But also just follow news. There are some good call options that you can play for Nvidia and Apple, especially with the levels that we're looking at right now. Apple isn't trading too bad. I do want to wait a little bit for Apple to kind of drop a little bit more, but I have a lot of price. I have a lot of supports and resistance for Apple. But honestly, I want to see it maybe hit those lows or maybe get down to that 180 level. And then if we get into those numbers, you can play a decent call option 2 to 3 weeks out, and it should hit, honestly, especially if we get good news. Unless we get horrible news and it falls, make a brand new low, might even break down to that 150 level. With that being said, right now we are looking bullish a little bit, not really, but we are kind of looking a little bit bullish. If we can break that 212 level, maybe get up to 220, we will look bullish again. But we do need good news. So just have your patience with Apple. You might be able to play it to the downside first and then switch to a call option, play it to the upside. Just watch how the levels move and watch how news looks. Look at that $200 level, 203, 205, 208, 212, and that 220 level. To the downside, 194, 190, that 185, and then that 180 level, and then the lows of 168 for Apple. Nvidia, I do want to see Nvidia, how it reacts to that $100 level. If you can break below again, might be able to see it at the $80 levels. We seen the $80 level that broke all the way above 105 or 102, and then the next day we had like 115, which was insane. So if you can get a little play like this, especially with the DTE, it literally happened the next day. You can make a decent amount of money off the video too, having some long-term calls. With that being said, look at Nvidia breaking below that $100 level. If you break that $100 level, which is gonna be key, look at that 98, 96, 92, 90, and the $86 level. To the upside, look at 105, 108, 110, 115, and 118 for Nvidia. Let's get to some news before we get to some other stocks, because I will give you guys some other stocks. Some events. We don't really have anything insane on Monday. Tuesday, not really anything big. Sometimes some things that people say can change the market. Keep that in mind. Wednesday, we got the S&P flash sales PMI. We have new home sales that can move the market. This is going to be 15 minutes after the market opens. Home sales is going to be, I think, what is that? 30 minutes after market opens. Sorry, I had to think. Thursday, initial jobless claims, which is going to be decent. That normally moves the market. That's an hour before. So hour before, just keep this on your mind because this can show a direction. And then Friday, consumer sentiment, 10 a.m., 30 minutes after market opens. That might move the market a decent amount. We got some earnings. So we do start tech earnings Monday. Not really too pumped for Monday. Not really anything big. Some banks, you know. So if you guys are invested in banks long term and or you want to make some short term plays, you can look at some of the banks. I don't see any big ones, so keep that in your mind. But on Tuesday, we have Verizon before market opens, RTX, and some other ones. But on Tuesday after close, Tesla. People are saying that Tesla can actually, let's get here. Tesla expects a big move in Tesla's share price. We're not going to say it's going to go up or down, but post earnings, it moved 12.3%. And honestly, if you guys see, I mean, it almost lost what, like 50% of its actual thing since the presidency to say. So you might be able to see like a 10 to 20% move depending on how earnings goes. And that's only if earnings is like horrible and or very, very good. So keep Tesla on your radar for Tuesday after close. I'm kind of pumped to see how it moves. I think personally it might move downwards. That being said, on Wednesday, we got Boeing. Boeing did have some bad news in China. So this might be able to bring the stock up and or make it look worse. AT&T after close, we got Chipotle. Everybody knows Chipotle, how it ran last year. IBM. It's gonna be dope. So on Thursday, we got Intel, Google. I'm kind of pumped for Google. Oh, sorry. Before open, American Airlines is gonna be decent, but Intel, Alphabet, I'm pumped to see Alphabet. We did move a bunch. Like Alphabet moved so much downwards, so I'm kind of pumped to see Alphabet, T-Mobile, and that's about it for me. And then I think Friday you got some decent ones. But you guys can screenshot this list if you guys want. You have strollers and other baby products where it'll get more expensive and harder to find with tariffs. So I guess if you have kids, probably like 50% of y'all, not even gonna lie. But with that being said, let's go look at some price and or supports and resistance and some plays, potential plays we can look at. So Palantir, we just got a good deal, $30 million deal. It might bring it up. We might break past that $100 level. So look at that $100 level first, 104, 108, and that 110 level. To the downside, look at how it reacts with that 94. If we break below 92, 90, 86, and that 82 and that $80 level. Especially that $74 level is going to be key to the downside. Tesla, upside 248, 250, 260, 272, 277, and 280. And then to the downside, 235, 228, 219, and that 210 level. Keep in mind, we're probably going to see a lot more volatility than we've seen before with Tesla, especially with the earnings on Tuesday. So Monday might be very volatile depending on how people are trading it. You might see it go up, and then earnings, you're going to see it go up or down one way, honestly. So yeah, Google, since we got earnings coming up, we're going to take a look at that. So basically to the upside, 156, 160, 164, 168, and 170. To the downside, 150, 146, 140. 140 is going to be key, by the way, because it was a kind of a bottom, but not like a big bottom, like a temporary bottom until we either make a new bottom and or not touch it ever again. 136 and 130. With that being said, Bitcoin is looking okay. We have been holding above that $80,000 level finally. I mean, a little bit ago we did fall below, but we bounced up. So kind of still holding to say. So keep MSTR and Coinbase on your radar. For MSTR, I will be looking at that 320 level, 330, 340, and that 350. To the downside, 305, 300, 295, 288, 281, and that 280 level to the downside. But with that being said, thanks for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.